We're back to the Neil Haley Show, and I would call this an Education Authors Corner segment. It's very interesting, so I'm excited to welcome him, Joffrey McClung. Joffrey, thanks for calling, and you are doing something that's very, very hard to stop. Wouldn't you agree in so many ways, talking about bullying? And people are bullied in so many different avenues. But tell me why this mission and why you're out there trying to stop the bullying epidemic.
Well, my background is really the self-love. And with self-love, when you have lack of self-love, I should say, that is the core of the bullying. So I really wanted to hit the bullying because I know I was bullied. I'm sure you've been bullied.
Yes.
I have been a bully when I was little. You know, when you're little and you don't know better. And it's just so harmful. And it's part of really helping people to wake up to their impact on others. And also, it's part of the journey back towards self-love, understanding why you're bullying to begin with. And I do want to add more empathy and compassion and have us be more connected to each other. So really, it's a mission of just hopefully raising the vibration on the planet to a little more loving.
That's so important. So talking about, define that, how that can help in bullying, self-love. To kind of love yourself more, does that give you become a little less worried when you get bullied or care what people think, Joffrey, by using self-love?
Well, self-love, first of all, when you have self-love and you've done the work, self-love incorporates self-compassion, self-understanding, self-acceptance, self-nurturing. So once you've gone in and you've started to do this for yourself and you've looked inward, you've seen that you have some dark spots as well as some light spots, as does every human being on the planet. And you begin to have compassion for yourself and forgive yourself, it is so much easier to offer that compassion and forgiveness to others. So first of all, you're going to see the bully in front of you slightly differently
Right.
than you would if you had not gone inward and looked at your own, in a way, inward bully. So you're going to offer that compassion and forgiveness to them. You're also going to understand they're coming from a place of pain, just as you did whenever you acted out against someone. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. And I think some quick things that our listeners can figure out ways of loving themselves better. What are some of those ways of doing it?
Well, loving themselves better is first to go inward and really get to know yourself. Ask yourself questions. Why do you feel the way you do about yourself? Do you know how you feel about yourself, number one? Then why do you feel that way? And understand that a lot of the feelings and beliefs you have about yourself were things you just picked up along the way. They're not true. You know, beliefs are just things that you decided are true, and you can change them and make a new belief about yourself. So I would say that inner awareness is number one. And then to start understanding that you're doing the best you could in the past with what you knew, and you're doing the best you can now. And keep realizing that we're all learning this game of consciousness down here on this planet. We're all learning. And just as you would with a 1-year-old who's learning to walk, you're not going to scold them or shame them because they tripped and fell over. They're learning to walk. So do the same with you and start to practice that and forgive yourself. Do that inner dialogue. You know, Neil, we talk to ourselves all day long. I mean, we all do in our heads. We have this inner dialogue constantly going on. Unfortunately, a lot of that inner dialogue is critical and judgmental of ourselves. You did this wrong. Oh, you should have said that. Oh, they think I'm crazy. That sort of a thing. Well, we all have it. I don't care who you are, you have it. Start paying attention to that and start changing that dialogue. You can consciously change that dialogue and say, no, I'm doing the best I can in this moment.
Exactly.
Or, you know, I did that job well. And it's going to feel weird to you at first, Neil, because you're so used to the critical voice. You're going to think, well, that's ridiculous. You know, I'm making that up. Well, you made up the critical voice, too. So why not make up a more loving voice?
Great point. What else, really quickly, can we figure out? I love that fact, and people need to kind of resonate just that part. Once you do that, how do you feel when people come with criticism and stuff? If you already are focusing on what the positive things that you're doing in your life and how you work hard, and the result sometimes is not what the work you put into it. It just happens that way.
Well, yeah, we're human. We're not going to be perfect in everything. Well, first of all, you're going to be able to hear criticism from a boss or someone you're going, teacher, wherever. You're going to be able to listen to it, and you're going to be able to not take it quite so personally, like it has nothing to do with your value or your worth. And what I like to say is your lovability has nothing to do with that. It's someone else's viewpoint on something you've done, an action, a behavior, or a job you presented them. So you're going to have a separation already, and you're not going to put your whole personality into it in the sense of, oh my God, I'm not liked, or I'm not lovable enough, or I'm not valued. That's going to be gone because you're going to be getting those things, your value and your worth, inside of yourself. Knowing that no matter what, just like every other human being on this planet, you're of value
Exactly.
and you're worthy of love, period. You know, so some of you won't take it quite so personally. And if you do for a second, it'll last a second versus all day long.
I love.
You'll go, wait a minute, and you'll start doing that inner dialogue. You know, that's positive. Wait a minute, all they said was, I could change this. Well, I can do that. That's no problem. And you won't take it so personally.
Love that. That's the great tip. And where can people connect with you? Again, this is a shorter interview, but I'd love to have you back on to give some more tips and look at scenarios involving the self-love process. Where's the best place people can connect with you and find info on you?
Well, they can go to joffreymcclung.com. I know that's kind of hard to spell, so you can also go, it's allaboutselflove.com. ITS, allaboutselflove.com.
And we forget about self-love. We
and
forget.
for social media.
We always think that that's having an ego. But no, we have to feel good about ourselves. If we don't wake up every day, Joffrey, and feel good about ourselves, we're not going to accomplish the goals. You know, so many people say, well, I just want an easy thing where I have no worries in life and that's it. Guess what? At one point, we're going to. And if we don't love ourselves, forget about it, Joffrey. So I agree with you. Your mission's fantastic. And thanks again for calling.
Well, thank you for having me, Neil.
All right, Joffrey, take care. Thanks. See you later. Bye. You're listening to Neil Haley's show. We'll be back in just a moment.